Eric Swalwell. Honestly answering the question when asked, yes, I am seriously considering running for president. Wait, I thought you're supposed to like bullshit and all that. That was kind of refreshing. Mm. But anyways, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, and welcome back to the Lost Begotten Easy Reefers Fish Room Thing Stuff YouTube channel of science. Yeah. Where today we are going to be discussing a mystery phenomena. Do, 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 do. No, not a phenomenon, a phenomenon. Do, 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 do. Damn it. We're going to be discussing a phenomena. Okay. Now that my little OCD tick has gotten out of the way. Something that's been occurring in Congress for a number of years. An undefinable number, or possibly undefinable, a number that I cannot quite put my finger on. Where it seems, and this is, something that's relatively known, unless all the reports and all the impressions of how things work there are just completely wrong, that a lot of Congress people, especially Republican Congress people, they don't so much go there and give a particular opinion, weigh the benefits and drawbacks, the pros and cons of a given bill, and decide what's in the best interest of the country and their particular area of representation, whether it be a half of a state or a small district within that state. You've got basically a small minority of Republicans who actually have conservative principles. You've got a small minority of Democrats who like the majority of the Republicans, seem to vote on their media preference. If they're basically online news junkies, they're Bernie babies. Because they've been all up sucking up the fucking Russian propaganda. And if they're Fox News junkies, well, they're Fox News junkies. And they've been, oh yeah, sucking up the Russian propaganda. But it seems like what's been going on with their willingness to overtly quote Fox News these days, what they've been doing in Congress these days, well, they just basically make Sean Hannity's talking points what they're gonna talk about from their fucking podiums. Is that a tactic? Do you think they're accomplishing anything by that overtly, on its face? The direct implications of it, do you think that's what's at play here? Hmm? Are they that stupid? Are they that unaware of the detestability and the obvious hollowness of such things? They're doing that to make it look like Fox News is where they've gotten their information from the whole time. When the fact is, they've all been working with the Russians directly this whole time. What do you see when you see Grant Cardone? What do you see when you see a lot of these rich, very Republican type guys? What do you see when you look into their eyes? Do you see confidence? Do you see arrogance? You know what I see? I see pain wrapped in bandages. I see fear. I see the look in somebody's eyes if they were running from something. There's Grant Cardone's eyes right there. Confidence? He's a wealthy man. Confidence? He exudes it. But look in his eyes. He's running from something. And something about the whole Russia thing made him stop talking about running for president at the same time he stopped talking to me. Now, let me just be clear. I feel like telling Grant, like, it's time to come home to Louisiana and learn about your roots again, boy. You know, like, I feel like being like the old witch doctor or something in the swamp, you know. Well, I'm not in the fucking swamp. Some people seem to think I'm in the swamp. No, I'm in the fucking, like, the hilly area of Louisiana. Yes, there are hills in Louisiana. I just happen to live on the low side of a ridge between two rivers. So the water comes up pretty fucking quick here. And that whole avenue that the water flooded in last time, the reason why nobody was prepared for that flood is because that's basically all ridgeland. But anyways, if I drive south of here, it's all flat. If I drive north of here, it's up and down and up and down. It's just that simple. And I don't want anything bad to happen to Grant. I'd like to do business with Grant. He's done a lot of good for the sales industry as a whole until this thing that he's hiding caused him to justify it by instead focusing on running away from home, running away from the idea of home, saying I don't need a home. He's basically losing business right now. Grant Cardone is selling himself short by fucking millions of dollars right now. Even with all the millions that he's making, he's practically stealing from himself because of this psychological difficulty that's manifesting as a philosophical view of home ownership being bad. Okay? Watch his videos. See what I'm talking about, if you haven't before. He basically says it's stupid to own a home. You should just rent. Whether or not that's the case, it's bad business for him to say that. And the fact that he doesn't realize this is a result of this little secret to his early success in the time where a lot of people just suddenly got successful for the same secret reason. But let me just say this, like anybody whom I can simply calculate and would make the case if it weren't so sensitive information, but I still daily come up with about 12.5 reasons why it's stupid that there aren't generals at my doorstep asking me to give them fucking opinions on things. But as for Grant, like so many of these people who have been taken in by the Mueller probe and whatnot, if you want to know the truth, if you want to stop getting the nested doll story, let me interrogate them. And I don't mean I'm going to be ruthless. I'm not going to be mean. It's not because I can do anything as a man that you can't. It's because of the effects that you should be able to calculate for yourselves of what it might mean if you admitted to the interrogee who I actually am. How many nested dolls do you think are gonna just collapse like a hooker's lingerie when I come in the room and say, you know what, son, you've been working for the devil. And I know it. And you know it. But I want you to guess how I know it. Let me put it this way. You've been working for the devil. And guess who I am? It's time Fess up. Now, Grant, him in particular, you know, he's seen me on Facebook through this whole thing. He knows. And I bullshitted with him and his wife. They know who the fuck I am. They know I'm a YouTuber. They know I was a flat earther. Am a flat earther? I don't know. But they knew I was doing that shit. I don't know if I ever really call myself a flat earther. I was just like, you know, here's the fucking possibilities. And here's the facts. Most of the facts point to the fact that these people who say it's round are all liars. That tells me something. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit like I've been up in space and I fucking know. Okay? I know what I know from my esoteric visions and experiences. And that gives me two completely different conflicting sets of data based on the form of reality that one finds themselves in. But the point is, Grant Cardone could be a fucking flat earther. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, and Grant, if you wind up watching this, I hope you hear my words. The number one thing you're afraid of right now is the truth that's in the Bible. Not the truth that I've been saying. You know what I've been saying is true. But just so you know that you should have been listening to me, I want to tell you I know your secret. You avoid Scripture, knowing that there's something in there you're supposed to be doing that you're not. And not to hint it out too much, but you know, Gordon, or not, Dave Ramsey, what, the only thing that Grant Cardone is missing, what's keeping him from being fucking president, okay? The only thing Grant Cardone is missing that's keeping him from being the only person needed for any sales training, for anybody, okay? Is the one thing that makes Dave Ramsey so damn good. Adherence to biblical principles of money management. And now, Grant, let me just say this. You're spending too much money, my friend. And it seems you've managed to purchase yourself a hell of a shovel. you might want to look up some things about what you're doing. Because somebody, look, a real estate investor, an independent investor, can get into debt by over leveraging by themselves. Okay? But when you do it with other people's money, it's called a Ponzi scheme. Because what you're doing is you're over leveraging one asset and then collecting until it gains equity. Okay, well, just basically, you take the first asset, you take the equity out of it as soon as there is any, and then you get more people's money and you go and gain another asset. And then when that has equity, you leverage that, and now you're over leveraging, and then you go get another asset. Okay? Now, over leveraging as an independent real estate investor, means that you are building long-term net wealth for yourself. Okay? But this is basically what a Ponzi scheme is. Okay, and I don't know the laws as particular, if, like, you know, if you disclose what you're doing to all the people who are to them, but dude, Ponzi scheme is a fucking Ponzi scheme, you know? And if you go and buy a fucking property that collects rent, and then you leverage the equity for another property that collects rent, and then you leverage the equity, and you're doing all this with somebody else's money and collecting more money from private investors and just getting in more and more debt, and eventually the money runs out. The entire bet that you're making everybody make is dependent on the value of those properties skyrocketing at the end. Okay, and if they don't, basically the fucking pyramid collapses. Welcome to Cardone Capital. Again, I don't know if it's illegal when you tell the investors that you're doing it. But again, Grant is somebody who, if, say, the proper people like in the CIA or the Department of Defense, just one high-ranking official, and Grant, were to come and sit by a bonfire one night with me, Grant Cardone could be a considerable asset, not just to the present issues, but moving forward for the future of America. He's a quality individual, and you know what? In a lot of cases, just like demons target people for their potential to stifle it, especially when their potential involves their ability to help others, the Russians have done the same. Oh, Misha's on my lap. It's like a privilege, you know? It's like, she's not a lap hog. Such a rare occurrence for her to bless you with her presence. Only them couple of chilly days in the winter. It cracks me up. Uh, Joey's wife thinks we live in a swamp. I got a creek right there. This is not a swamp. It's farmland. It's fucking irrigation canals and shit. I live in the cheapest fucking rentals in the entire school district. Which says something. $750 a month. That's the cheapest rentals around. This is a snooty little boutique town surrounded by a bunch of rednecks, basically. And what's balanced it out over time is the fact that about 20 or 30,000 of the 50,000 in the city of Zachary are all from New Orleans. All after Katrina came out here. There were already a bunch of housing developments going up, right? And they all just got bought up, and they just couldn't keep building them quick enough, and they just get bought up by more and more people from New Orleans, and instead of going back home, they would just come here. You know, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's one of the few places that was building modern, nice suburban type houses, and it had the best school district in the state. So, yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of people from the city that just got destroyed. And don't let anybody tell you New Orleans got fixed. My city was destroyed. It's never been the same since. Oh, would you fuck off, you Russian piece of shit? So fucking tired of you fucking cowards. Translate your bullshit so that I can tell you how fucking stupid you are. Otherwise, you're a coward. Okay? You're afraid of my words. You're so afraid of my words that you can't even fucking translate your words for me. I'm never going to bother having a goddamn clue what the fuck your sniveling little shit ass just fucking spewed. You're fucking pathetic. Fucking mouth breather. I'm not waiting because I think you might grow a spine. I'm waiting until you realize that all you're doing right now is confirming how fucking useless and cowardly, dishonest, evil, and damned you fucking people are. And again, if you weren't such a chicken shit, you would translate so I could spell it out for you. Knock, knock. Who's there? Interrupting chicken. Interrupting. I need more coffee. All right, Misha. It never worked when we trolled him in English because our grasp of the language isn't good enough. Yeah, so we don't even fucking bother anymore. We were having too many trolls commit suicide and try to defect to Interpol. Because every time he'd go and talk to them, he'd make them regret their fucking existence. You people are like weakness walking. Coffee. We are Russians. Dum 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 dum. Russian troll, dum 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 die. Russian troll, dum 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 die. He says lots of dum, he does lots of dum. Russian troll, Russian boom, dum dum dum. You know, every time a testicle farts, grows an asshole and farts, a testicle. Every time that happens, a Russian troll gets into heaven. Oh, these are the jokes I tell just for me. Farting testicle grew an asshole. You know you're not getting to heaven today. Farting testicle grew a butt. Is that the gin blossoms? Holy moly. Is that what that's called? Is that like the medical term? A holy moly? When you grow a butthole on your testicle? The doctor said I got a holy moly. He said something about a Russian troll getting to heaven because of it. Insurance denied my fucking claim, though. What the hell? Said it was a pre-existing condition. What? You're acting like I'm funny or something. As if this is some more sort of entertaining quality broadcast. Yep. I think it was a scarecrow, a tin man, and a Russian troll. They went to see the wizard. I sense a joke here, but I haven't written it yet. Hold on. The scarecrow asked the wizard if he could have a brain. He was fucking stupid. The wizard said, well, I agree. You're pretty fucking stupid. Let me think about that. He goes to the Tin Man. Tin Man says, I need a heart. Because, you know, I've been going to Starbucks too much. And my heart's all fucked up. And also it's made of tin. So, you know, that's not good. It's not a very malleable material. Doesn't work so well in elastic pumping applications. So, you know, between that and the... Oh, yeah, by the way, the cocaine. Yeah. That's why they called me the Tin Man. It's my nickname as my coke dealer call sign, kind of. But anyways, Mr. Wizard, if you could give me a new heart, that'd be great. Mr. Wizard says, that's a fascinating story, son. I'll think about it. And then there's a Russian troll. And he asked the wizard for some courage. And he said, well, all my arguments and reasons for having pride in my country and existing, they've all just stopped making sense. And I don't even have the courage to translate my own trolling anymore. So, Mr. Wizard, could you please give me some courage? And Mr. Wizard set the Russian troll on fire and sent them to hell. And the Tin Man and the Scarecrow suddenly had brains and a heart again. That was more of a lesson and less of a joke, wasn't it? Because I'm Jesus. It's funnier when I say it about other people. I know. Oh, I had someone else today. Who was it? Who was it? It was a character on something, I think. I don't fucking know. Anyways, everybody gets to be a little Jesus-like from time to time. Even me. No, it's like every now and again I'll see like a Bruce Willis moment in a movie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole walking away from explosion thing or that equivalent. It was like just jokingly, because he's Jesus. I like to think of Jesus as a ninja. Fucking turn around, stupid camera. But it was somebody earlier. It was just fucking funny. I just wish I could remember who it was, so you could share that moment with me. But apparently, I'm too much of a moron to remember, and so sorry. But yeah, somebody had a baby Jesus moment. I don't think it was Grant Cardone. Might have been Steve Harvey. Let's see here. What have I been watching besides Bleach? I've been watching the new Bleach mangas. Actually, Grant Cardone did have a Jesus moment, followed by some not so Jesus moments. If you if you look at his video, Rich Person's Biggest Secret, he tells a story about when he was, I think, a pill junkie. Okay. Well, if you're not Jesus. You just have the one little moment, and then it just all goes, yeah. That's what he had. Drug deal gone bad, guys in his face with a fucking gun. He takes a dinner plate and just smacks him in the face with it, breaks it on his face. There's Jesus moment, and fucking got pistol whipped, and that's a not so Jesus moment. Because Jesus doesn't get pistol whipped. Yeah, Grant's a real dude, man. He's like I said, I know him. To me, he was the guy that was always playing pool with some fine bitch. That's just who he was at the bar. Okay. That's it. And I didn't realize he wasn't from around there or didn't live around there until until that last night when I saw him. And he said he was in town from fucking Lafayette, Lake Charles, or something like that. It turns out it was Lake Charles. I couldn't remember until he said it on the video. Yeah. But, at the time, I'd have never guessed he had been through all that. And that was probably right when he was getting out of all that. Right as he would, like when I had last seen him, it was, he had just hit it big or something. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But he was definitely just all smiles and looking like he does today or has ever since, kind of, you know? Anyways, obviously I've been studying way too much sales and real estate shit lately. I keep on fucking bringing Grant Cardone up. See, the real meaning of 10x, posted 18 hours ago.
What is 10x? What is it for you? 10x is defined as a concept where you would scale your business and or your ideas, to which point you would create a life, not a business. You would create a life without limitations.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Which means it's just what the fuck it sounds like. Yeah. It's a good branding moment. It's clever. Certainly more than Donald Trump ever came up with. You know? He basically just calls the new thing 10x. And he's got fucking apparel and all kinds of accessories and shit that you can buy from him with 10x on it. And he's trademarked 10x in reference to financial shit. You got a book and everything else. Got 10x. And you know. To a certain point, that's a gimmick. But the reason why it works is because of all his other strategy and shit. But there's something missing. You know? It's a fascinating case study for me. I apologize for continuing to ramble on about this dude, but he is probably, or was, like the number one sales training mogul type person that you could hire as like a business consultant, make your whole workforce more efficient and everything, you know. Misha. But there's some details missing from the publicly available shit that don't quite get you really understanding what he means by a lot of the shit that he says, okay? And like I remember getting trained on the road to the sale. I've actually done the paid training that he has, right? At Honda. That's why I worked there for fucking 2.5 months, but I was only on the floor for a month and a half. They got you in a whole month of paid training. And it was 100% Grant Cardone. Okay. And see, this thing that he keeps saying, I don't think it means what it thinks it means. Chase the deal, not the dollar. Focus on the deal, he says. Focus on the deal. And the money will come. Now you see, I've finally made that true. Okay? You know, a little fucking... I focused on the deal. I ain't got no damn money. So I have put together a deal that, you know, he'd be a moron not to sign up. Actually, he's being a moron for not signing up on. Because yes, I did offer him. And I don't know if when I started... Basically, when he said he was thinking about running for president, I told him that I wanted to give him a briefing on the Russian stuff. And I haven't heard back from him since, as if I'm not able to message him anymore. Because what an odd thing to cut me off on, considering that, you know, it's not as though I'm sitting there being a random or obtrusive person with him. I'm literally shooting the shit because I'm from where he's from. You know what I'm saying? Like, he remembered me, and he told his wife about me, apparently, because she started fucking talking to us, you know. And then just suddenly nothing. When basically I had been talking about the Russia stuff for years, I waited until the Russia stuff came out in public. After he had started talking about running for president, I waited until the Russians started making news, and then I told him, hey, if you want to know more about this, I'd be happy to tell you, in a non-crazy character format. But there's other ways I'm going to wind up getting in touch with him in the future, like I said. Even if I have to invest a little bit in Cardone capital. You see, what I don't think anybody realizes about my buildings when I say they look good, you need to understand what my standards are, and that they're about the damn same as Grant Cardone's standards when it comes to especially multifamily housing. So if you don't think my buildings look good, you're going to be pissed when you can't find anything better looking. And did I mention they're flood-proof, more durable, longer lasting, and cheaper to build? Oh yeah, I think I did mention because I'm that damn good. I've got my monster staring at me right now. A monster. Rawr. Looks like a monster, doesn't it? See? Like a weird little tiki god. That's a factory. And the goal is to have that bitch up in 3 years. I've got those big eyes, those are ponds. One of the ways I'm gonna help with the flooding situation around here, I'm gonna dig some giant holes. They're not gonna be embanked or anything. And hopefully wherever this property is, I'll be able to put an aquaculture facility next to it. And we can use those giant ponds as water collectors. And every time they get full, keep on lowering them. Draw water from them. But anyways, I've got layers upon layers of detail for this too. That's how I fill up sketchbooks so much. You know, like I'll show y'all a basic drawing, which y'all don't realize that there is schematic page after schematic page where I sit here and just stayed up all night like a crackhead. But it's like the shape of these buildings, that square shape, it's a really hard shape to deal with. Okay, it's really hard to make that not ugly. But if you can manage to do it with an efficient design technique, it's not too much trouble. Because at some point, you know, you don't need to overreach with aesthetics when the engineering is there. You know, people can actually aesthetically appreciate exposed high quality design as far as being something that looks good that's also structural. And if you organize everything well enough, you know, to where you're not just putting structure where structure needs to be, but actually having like a vision for all of it, how it works together, then you're not wasting money adding aesthetic. You know what I mean? So yeah. Like, I mean, it's like I see these fucking assholes. They're like these big legendary designers and stuff. And it's really fucking, frankly, quite easy to draw some pretty shit. Okay? To make a beautiful garden, to make a beautiful house, to make a beautiful landscape. It's easy. Okay? But to do it cheaply, efficiently, and long lasting is difficult. To do it, to make beauty out of efficiently produced structure and not like, this is how I want it to look and it won't be beautiful till it looks this way, so there's got to be all this work done to make it look this way. There's a certain beauty in planning and technique that outlasts any fad or phase in what's considered fashionable. Okay? Like, that's why the Golden Gate Bridge still looks good, basically. You know? You can make all your modern, weird-looking, fancy bridges, but it still doesn't look good as that motherfucker. And that I think is a poor example. My car is a good one, though. An even better one is a 93 Integra with the one-piece headlights. Oh, sexy. Right. Like the difference, you know what I mean, though? The difference between a fad that lasts, okay, or, a fad, a fad that doesn't last, and a design that endures, okay? The blue jean. Blue jeans are a fucking design that looks so damn good because it works so well, because you can see the efficiency in the building process with the little rivets and everything. Blue jeans will never fucking go out of style. There have always been blue jeans. There will always be blue jeans. So it was written in ages past. Lo, she shall stretch the bongo over her buttocks, and it shall become a badonkadonk. What? I'm gonna flip the camera around now. I'm getting way too silly. Dumbass cat, what are you doing? Okay, that's just driving me crazy. I'm about to get up and do this shit right now. In my pajama pants. I'll pull them up a little. I'm gonna make you move, make you dance, yeah, bullshit's been down, oops, I'm good. Let's go, girl. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, I found the fish tank. Much better. As my depression fades away from this deal getting done, you'll probably see me taking better care of my fish tanks. That, for instance, was rather gratifying as opposed to the normal, it's just gonna grow back. In fact, I got so much energy in myself right now, it's hard for me not to just start mixing up water and fucking siphoning out sand. In fact, I might mix up some water. What am I doing on water? How's my other jug? They're both over there, okay. I need to put the top off there, that's for sure. Water to start mixing with the fuck. I think tomorrow. There's something kind of satisfying about that fucking protein skimmer bubble wave. every 7 seconds. Oh, stupid little battery warning. I was just sitting there getting tranced out. Oh. It was like it was breathing. Oh yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't recharge just because you flip it around, dumbass. You gotta actually plug the charger in. All right. I like how this almost looks deliberate here. See that? That's just how I wake up. I'm not sure how that happens. Like a little part, a little Dennis, old 50s style Dennis the Menace thing going there. Like a woo, like a like a ducktail. Yeah. Didn't want to say it, so I just implied it with song. No, I would much rather some actual hairstyle that was remotely intentional than this thing that I just let this rip because I think it's funny. Yeah. So that guy right there, I don't even know where that's coming from. That's apparently way back here. Okay. All right. I'm like a confused GPS, just recalculating. If I was a compass, would you trust me? Ooh. Words I used to remember and DuckTales. Ooh. You gotta think for ducks, huh? Let's get dangerous. Oh, I shouldn't do that. No. Might get you too excited there. She has a thing for ducks. My dad. If you like older men, maybe you should go be my dad's little last young thing. He's in better shape than most men our age, fuck. And he can impersonate Donald Duck. Disney quality. Studio fucking quality. Donald Duck impersonation. I cannot for the life of me get the hang of it. She's tried to teach me. I just can't do it. But you know, whatever. My dad has Popeye's laugh? No, I have Popeye's laugh. Especially when I'm holding in smoke. No, other than that, like my normal laugh, I sound just like my dad. Not my my maniacal laugh. He doesn't really so much have a maniacal laugh like me. But, you know, he's so fucking healthy, he'll probably live to be 180 years old. Shit. Yeah, I'm serious. He is healthier than most men my age. Fucking, he's just exercised regularly and ate really well and all that good stuff. But not not one of them people who doesn't know how to eat. You know what I mean? Like, you're just making your system fragile when you do that shit. He just, you know, he'll have some fried chicken and just make sure he has a lot of fiber afterwards and stuff like that. He's one of them Metamucil guys. Just built a barn, 80 years old. Hell yeah. But seriously, women in their fucking 20s and 30s are like, how old is your dad? Expecting to hear something in the 50s range. Nope. I miss being that fucking bulky, you know, being homeless and starving and having a bad back. I've gotten a whole lot more scrawny in the shoulders and shit. And like, my dad's still fucking tank-like. I'm just taller. Me, I'm more like Kimpachi. Don't got a lot of mass, but I know how to use it. Wait, that didn't sound right. Yeah, indeed. Trying to see if there's any notable news going on. Doesn't look like it, but it is a Saturday. Everybody's too busy fucking off. It's more about side to side pulling. Like, the way my back is messed up. Okay. I was working at this weird little Pizza Hut that was inside of a convenience store in Texas. And they served little French bread pizza sandwiches and personal pan pizzas. And that's it. Fucking easy enough, right? Should have been able to hack it, I think. 6-hour shifts. 4, some of them 4. Well, I went into the freezer to get a box of pepperoni. If you ever worked at a pizza place, you know a box of pepperoni ain't shit. It's fluffy. It's not very heavy at all, you know? Like, I've worked in delis. I've lifted boxes of sausage that were fucking 10 times heavier than this, okay? But this one little box was kind of stuck to the side of the freezer. You know, a little frost gets in there and just kind of sticks the cardboard to the side of the freezer. I had to give it a little tug like this. And when it came, I just, you know, this was after my injury and everything, after I was thinking I was recovered enough to do this shit. I got it on the cart, and then I kind of like lost all control of my legs and fell right the fuck over. And just kind of laid on my back there for an hour and a half until somebody found me. And I got helped up. I could walk in a lot of pain. Drove myself home. Got up it was like just a little 4-foot step landing, but took my time going up that. It was actually, when that happens to my legs, it's easier to go upstairs than it is downstairs, because lifting my legs to go forward and keeping them up long enough to take a step is what hurts. And it's like an overwhelming pain that makes you just kind of twitch until you lose control of everything. I got 3 steps inside my fucking front door, and I laid down for 6 hours until somebody came home. Just on my back, just all you do is sit there and like sit there giggling to yourself like butthead. No, it's just a whimper from the pain. like the voice, like you just like, it's the only strength that you have. Like, just the vocalization kind of makes your, like, it replaces your spine. Like, I don't know, fuck. What's been doing me a lot of good lately, and keeping me able to even make a video like this, like leaning over like this. Oh, this would fuck me up. Every time I lay down to go to sleep for a little while, I lay down, and then I lift my ass up and walk down a little bit with it, keeping my shoulders in one place, stretching out my spine. Oh, such a brilliant fucking thing to do. Just it works so well. It's just brilliant every fucking time. When I forget to do that, that's when I wake up with my back hurting. Boy, yeah, that's harsh. But yeah, it really sucks, like, wanting to go back to work and just fucking failing every time like that, man. And that's why I just started sketching. Those are sketchbooks. 5 of them. That's not all of them either. And what's funny about this is like, I don't even need them. Once I write it down, it's all in there. And if I was to go and try to write this stuff down again, if I was to draw these things again, they would come out even better. Every time I go and draw something again, I wind up improving it. I love this floor plan, though. This is such a great floor plan. You got come on, stupid phone. There we go. You got this master bedroom in the corner, right? Got an offset wall to put the bed against. You don't have to put it there. You can put it over there, right? But I like it against the wall right there. Okay. Your master bathroom, accessible from in the bedroom or from the main living space. Dual vanity. I prefer to have more counter space and one sink. Kitchen, bathroom, washer dryer, all in one stretch for the plumbing. That is just like my finest achievement right there. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's just right. Just fucking great. I've been drawing floor plans my whole damn life and never came up with that good of a kitchen, bath arrangement with the washer dryer all in one fucking place like that. Now, I personally like having a sink near a corner. And having a half-size water heater. But I like those disposable small apartment complex type water heaters. Okay. Because those big tank water heaters that you buy get funky. Okay. So you're better off just getting a little one and just replacing it frequently. I'm just saying. The capacity, right? You get this giant capacity thing, but then this fucking this crystallization forms in there, and then your capacity goes to shit anyways. So just get a small one, change it out, make it accessible. Now, one difficulty with that is the blow-off stack, but I have it conveniently enough right next to one of my hollow beams, right next to one of the only two vertical beams in the whole building, because again, these are based off the same thing. It just squishes out the square centerpiece, but you still wind up with two of the beams from that square centerpiece. Okay, one of those beams is right there where that hot water heater is. So put the blow-off stack inside of that, going right up to the roof if you want, or out inside of one of the columns to the side. And then of course that connects to right under the house as well. Now, like I said to you, Lacey, if you want to come down here and get a job and find a fucking rental, I will count you as a reliable person on the team. And I could, save enough land for us to build you a tiny house, and once you can afford to buy it, that kind of thing. But this is for people who I know I can rely upon to be part of the team long term, and who have proven professional skills on a level that they can take over an entire division of enterprise. Man, touch my body. Boy, touch my body. I mean, girl, just touch my body. That's not a stab at Michael. That's just a metaphor. What? I don't think we'd go a day without fucking listening to something by Eminem in this house. At least I don't have Hey Ya in my head anymore. Hey Ya. Okay. Now I'm gonna make you move, make you dance. Yeah, boy, shake that thing. Oops, I mean, girl, 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 girl. You know you're my world. Now lose it, now lose it, go crazy, oh baby, oh baby. Telling an old lady, touch my mind. So fucking retarded, man. It's just. I don't know, like, this part of me thinks you should be like 35 before you're allowed to see something like that. Like, Misha, what are you doing? Oh, there's a towel up there and you want to go lay on it, huh? No, ma'am. Psst. No, ma'am. Misha! Psst. Get the fuck down. Bad little shit. I'll look away for a minute. She jumped right the fuck up there. I want to build this fucker. Like, I'm ready to go out there myself and build it. Like, work until I fall over and then just rest a little while and work until I fall over again. Oh, we're doing it. I mean, no matter what, we're doing it. I just get to find out next week if I get to do it next week. Oh, and I really want to, I'm anxious to get this fucking land surveyed. And, you know, in my name. Huh? Um, you might be able to find a room for rent in Zachary. Um, shit. I wish my dad could afford a fucking maid. I would tell him to just, like, get this other place that's for rent right now. I'll ask him if he wants a roommate. How about that? No, ma'am. Hey there, Misha. There you go. She wants to come lay on the paper on my lap. Right. I mean, he's like an old school prude and shit. Like the shit I was talking a little while ago wouldn't you know, be an issue or anything. He's been having some interesting luck with women out there in Florida. Let me just put it that way. There's one bitch fucking real estate agent got him to co-sign for a place. She was supposed to flip it, and she wound up moving into it. And now she's sending my wife text messages and shit. Oh, Misha has come to snuggle with the phone. She's just falling asleep right there. Oh, can you hear her? It's a hell of a view. Falcor. Dude, I can't even watch the scene with Artax anymore. I just can't even watch it. I was like, no, no, I can't see that horse die again. Like, no, it just makes me cry every fucking time. Ah. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. And just remember the end. Just remember the end. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Da, da, da. Okay, I'm done. The never-ending story. Ah. Oh, now she's playing with the chats. She's got her paw on the phone. Are you playing with the chats? She was scrolling for a second there. The never-ending kitten face. Are you fucking serious? Mumps have made it to Houston. Thanks, anti-vaxxers. Apparently, it's at a ICE facility. Misha is asleep on top of the camera. With her paw right on the screen. Whenever somebody sends you one of those things in the mail that says "We buy houses," do you picture like a big Walmart with a bunch of houses on shelves? Like, man, they must have a really big place if they buy houses. Where are they fitting all these fucking houses? I mean, how big is your house got to be? You go out shopping and come home with more houses. Holy fuck. Must have a lot of garage space. That's all I'm saying. All right. I'm going to do some things. They're going to take some time. Are you going to wait, Lacey? Holy fuck. Misha's scrolling uncontrollably. Come on, Misha. She didn't scroll all the way back up to the top. There. Okay. Because, like, I need to fucking yeah, I need to wash myself like Misha's gonna see. And now she's scrolling again. It's a good thing that the X is on the other side of the screen. Hopefully she won't end the broadcast. But hi. She's making me want to wash my hair in the fucking sink. You're making me itch just washing it. All that and the fucking weather changing around here. Alright, I'll be back. fucking shampoo. Well, I'm gonna wash my hair in the sink. Yeah. Hey, look. I'm Batman. And now you have to decide which one of those statements was more weird. Now, when you're a homeless person, you really have to know how to fucking clean yourself. Let me just tell you this. The way most people shower is all wrong. Get your hands wet. Put the shampoo in it. Hopefully rinse the fucking dirt out first. Then you don't have to rinse it with piggy. Clean with water. Just water. The soap is just there to help the water. Ah. Oh yeah, much better. Yeah, I can't wait to move. I'm making a nice tub with like 5 shower heads. Right now, in order to wash my hair in the tub, the shower head itself comes up to about yay. So unless I want to blow it, I'm out of luck. And there's a crack in the tub. And by crack, I mean you can fucking see outside through the tub. So yeah, being homeless comes in handy when you're not short enough to take a shower and the floor in the tub is not quite something you want to do any kind of balancing trick on with your eyes closed. You know, try to lean over and squat. No, thanks. I'll use the fucking sink. Damp paper towel, wipe off my balls right quick. So yeah, my house is gonna be sort of the Frankenstein experiment. And then the Easy Reefer store is hopefully gonna be, because of that process, more uniform. And then we're gonna build a house that's gonna be the home builder's house that can be demoable. The Reef store being the first, being the second prototype, okay, it doesn't need to be that much nicer because it's a Reef store. And I don't know if you've ever been to a Reef store, but let's just say things change. There's a lot of different plumbing and a lot of different just shit that happens, you know? So chances are some flooring and some boards and some walls or whatever is going to get messed with anyways. So it doesn't really need to look perfect yet. with the reef store. But it's going to be an attempt at perfect. It's going to be attempted at least looking good, right? And then the second house we build and the second business we build, the second commercial building we build, those should come out perfect. But the cool thing about that whole process is those are basically all sold to other individuals and or businesses. I'm really looking forward to building the skyscraper. I mean, I can't really, it's a tower. It's a pretty big building. Technically 7 stories. But really only 6 are air conditioned. The 7th story is just a little perch. Just a little lookout balcony kind of. Covered, but not walled. Probably going to be half walled and then wooden barred. Or maybe a half fenced and then wooden barred kind of. But I'd like to see basically how my design holds up with the terrain around here. Because essentially what you're going to be dealing with is settling, what they call settling, which is shit sinking into the mud. And I've got a design that's going to compensate for the leaning that could occur and allow, adjustment basically. But that's building a building like a race car. It's fully adjustable. Camber and caster and whatnot. Should you finance or lease your next car? You should pay $500 cash for it and fix it up. That's what I think. All I'm saying is if you got the money to finance or lease a car, you got the money to fix up a car. Guess what? After it's fixed, it's paid for. You just got to pick the right car. Don't pick a car that's going to break again. You get a new car, you don't know if it's going to break. It's a new car. Doesn't mean it's going to not break because it's new. That's not how shit works. It's about the quality. Get your old car that everybody knew was the one that just kept working and had no fucking problems. Like your 90s Honda Accords. Civics. Oh God, Civics. Oh, get you a Civic. Get everything perfect on it. Nobody's gonna want to buy it from you, but you're gonna have a damn nice car that's paid for, and the insurance is gonna be cheap as hell. And if somebody really pisses you off, you're not going to go $10,000-$20,000 in debt just because you crashed your car into them because, you know, they deserved it. No, I'm kidding. You should not do that ever. Unless they really, really deserve it. No, I'm kidding. No, you shouldn't. Don't. I almost fucking did that the other morning, though. It was a good thing my license was expired, because I didn't want to have to explain two things at once, you know? Once you got more than one thing to explain, the cops stop listening. I know this from both experience and television. Like you hear them talk and they're like, okay, now stop there. No, and they keep going. No, you're going to jail. My housing system can make those little modern houses. No problem. It can make suburban houses. No problem. It can make country houses with the porches all the fucking way around it. No problem. It's not just a bunch of damn glorified trailers with different types of shutters. Okay? It's nothing like trailers at all. At all. It's a better construction method than houses get built in when they're called fucking houses. And if I want to make them cheaper than trailers, I can make them cheaper than trailers. If I want to make them capable of withstanding 60 degree below zero weather, I can make them capable of standing 60 degree below zero weather. Most of my designs are made for tropical applications, however. But I've been looking at, you know, how they build houses in Sweden and Switzerland and shit, with giant thick pieces of wood and everything. But when it all comes down to it, the same fucking beam techniques that they use are the same beam techniques that I use. I just have an extra structure. How I wind up with an extra structure and everything winds up cheaper is because of the modular process. It's just like Henry Ford, you know. If you're gonna build supercars one at a time, they're gonna cost $1 million each. If you build a factory and you have supercars in an assembly line, they cost $100,000 each, and you can sell them for 160 or 200 or whatever. Right? Especially the ones with the bullshit foam insulation, man. That $500,000 million houses built with foam insulation. $1 million house. Can you imagine $1 million house fucked up because somebody spilled some nail polish remover? mean, come on, man. It makes me want to get a tanker truck. The end. I mean, wouldn't that be just a sight to see? I think I'm gonna do that. If we make this happen, I'm gonna purposely buy a house to renovate. Okay, with foam, and I'm gonna get a big ass drum sprayer, like a carpet cleaning, like an industrial cleaning sprayer. You know, I'm just gonna melt the fucking walls off of it. I'm just gonna melt all that foam. The Modern Egyptian Construction Company, here to build you a fucking technologically up-to-date pyramid. I'm just inventing things in my head right now. I can't even stop. It's a compulsion. I'm so sorry. Just have this shit going. There's so many ways. Okay, like you fucking little children are hilarious. Okay, you think you've invented lots of things and you haven't. Every single component of major construction, of technology in general, was invented thousands of years ago. And there's just these new permutations on the same old fucking thing over and over again. Clay roof tiles. All the components, all the pieces, all the techniques, they're the exact same. Bricks. All the components, all the pieces are the exact same. The way they're done, everything. But I'm sitting here in my head, making new, completely different fucking things. New, completely different things to do with the bricks and with ceramics. New ways to combine both. I'm just thinking, is this how it happens? Just like, this all there is, you know? Surely it can't be me every time. Surely it has to be that people used to be more innovative because they remembered being reincarnated. Like, when I was little and I got frustrated because I knew how to fix my sister's brakes on her bicycle, and my hands weren't big enough to grab the pliers. If I would have been taught from that point on why, imagine how much more I could have grasped, previous innovations early on and evolved from them, and innovated and invented. Because, like I'm older and I understand the problems of the world better, and that's why I can invent so many simple things, you know. But when you're young, if you are allowed to focus on certain things, you can come up with just great imaginative ideas because of how physically constructive your brain is while you're growing. I mean, I just remember a different society, and I can't put my finger on, no matter how much I try to connect, just how long my memory is to what's in the history books. It's weird. It's just draining too. It's like the past couple of years, while they were happening, they seem to take so long, but now that they've happened, it's like, wasn't 3 years ago yesterday? If that's the case, is she catching up? Or has her son figured out her tricks? Then again, he's probably been listening to me and trying to decode it. Wouldn't that be funny if this whole time that troll was Putin? Wait, you have what? I don't know what I said that's in reference to. I know you're not a troll, dear. just funny, the little 3-year gap that I've mentioned is just the start of it. And without even knowing the reference point, if he tries to pull back that dilation through manifestation because of all the people who worship him, I can imagine a few ways he could do it, but unfortunately it won't work. And I'm actually considering the problems it could cause if he'd be stupid enough to do that. It actually could lead to something much more interesting for me, and very, very unfortunate for him. Because then he would have to reckon with his own kind. Oh yeah, he will have pulled us back to the beginning. And what you will find is that, if that is the case, the children that have been born in the past 3 years will be of a different caliber of human. And they will be born in the land of the light and nowhere else. Not any of my wonderful allied favorite countries, not New Zealand, not Australia, not Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, not Germany, France, Italy, Switzerland, Spain. They will all be born in America. Because if he pushes a time dilation at the reference point without knowing what it is, he will open up a gateway back to the beginning. And if he opens up a gateway back to the beginning, unfettered souls will undoubtedly overpower anything that exists in this time and push their way through. And all I can say is, oh goody, I won't be alone anymore. See, this may be my universe, but there's a whole bigger universe out there, where even I am just a child. Maybe a child of my own volition, but a child nonetheless. A land where I have nothing but peers. And they, for now, as I would, sit up in the sky and taunt me. But they have their own worlds to run. And occasionally save. No one takes the lessons they learn here to the stars and forgets them. those who did returned here long ago. And that's the reality that he's trying to get back to. I won't allow it. Fucking Martians. Ancient wars of the gods, so hard to fathom in a human brain. Unless you've watched just the right movies and television series, you can sort of accept your own limitations. But it's a lot like on the Tales from a Parallel Universe series with the Lex, you know? How they talk about the ancient insect war. Essentially the planets themselves going to war with each other. Not far off. But then again, as I've said, what is reality? What is memory? What is the past? If nobody can remember it, did it happen? If everybody remembers it, did it necessarily happen? If something didn't happen, and we all remember it happening, will it have happened? Will its effects of having happened be apparent in the present, even though it didn't technically happen? Well, sure. That kind of shit happens all the time. Have you been watching Bleach? You need to watch Bleach. Everybody needs to watch Bleach. The Russians done fucking took down my Bleach channel as soon as I fucking mentioned it. Oh yeah. Immortal Souls has had all their videos removed. Thanks, you fucking miserable pieces of shit. Well, it's on Hulu and it's on here. No excuses. Fucking check out Bleach. You will learn from it. Everybody needs to watch that. You gotta understand that, yes, demons are powerful, but they're not the fucking end-all be-all. And neither is the throne. The throne of God is like one of those things that you spin over a crib. Well, everyone is not lazy. There's a difference between what most people need to know and what the people who find me should know. No one's ever going to come in front of me in this house as a guest without being ready for that level of knowledge. But you have to really be careful just with the general public on that kind of shit. Like this channel. People don't even come to this channel without at least having once thought in their lives that they were going to meet Christ. Even the trolls. It's the one thing all those trolls have in common. They actually heard about it when they were little for a second, and they thought they would be alive in that time. They thought they would experience it. And they somehow knew they were right, but later forgot and convinced they were wrong. What's sad is many of them would probably hear that and then giggle and laugh, reflexively denying it before even trying to remember it. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. So I'm thinking the Easy Reefer store is gonna have to be high, like up off, like not like on weed, like up off the ground. But look, all I gotta say is my wife is overworked and overstressed. And if I can afford it, I'm going to hire her a personal assistant. Okay? So, yeah. Anyway. So what I was saying is if I put the Easy Reefer store up on stilts, just kind of make it high up, it'll help a bit more with prototyping, and it'll allow me to get under there for the plumbing and change it around all I need and do my store-wide sump system. I was going to build the sump into the ground. No, but not into the ground, into the, into the floor. And basically have like a water change sump that could help me clean fucking anything I needed in the entire store, and then recycle that back into the main system or somewhere else, depending on, I had a secondary drain set in mind for like the quarantines and the retail setup. But then, as far as the refill goes, the refill would come from the main system, you know? So, like, if you're setting up a fish store, okay, or even if you just have multiple tanks at your house, you take your reef tank water and instead of like your fish tank or your quarantine tank, instead of mixing up new water for that, when you do your reef water change, you do it in succession. You get your first tank low, and then you get, take your fish tank and use that for the quarantine. And then you take your reef tank water and use that for the fish tank, and you recycle based on quality, because the fish don't need as high quality as a reef, and your quarantine doesn't need as high quality as a fish, right? In fact, if there's nothing in the quarantine, you want to put dirty water in there. That way the filter has something to filter. And it stays alive. But anyways. So on the hatchery side, I was going to have this universal drainage system that basically slows down the whole process of return pumping and basically gives baby fish a whole lot of extra chance to survive. Basically, theoretically, it's very unlikely, but theoretically, it's possible that I would wind up having baby clownfish in these pipes that I would never know about. But this is going to be a next level pet store, man. I don't even think people have any clue what I have in mind here. It's going to be a place to go, not just a place to shop. There's going to be a like a petting zoo type thing for the kids. They've got that at plenty of stores. But I've kind of got this kind of educational thing going, And I really wish more stores would do this, okay? Just along the coast. Like, if you're inland, this is completely fucking irrelevant, right? Unless you also sell, like, anything from the local area as far as freshwater goes, I suppose. But basically, people go back and forth to work, and they go on vacation, and they go fishing, and maybe every now and again they'll go camping. But people rarely mix fishing with camping. Some people do. I mean, that's a great experience when you go camping and fishing. But most people go fishing for a day, then they go camping, and maybe bring a fishing pole with them. But nobody, except like hikers, okay, even gets in a place where they can actually see the interaction between land and water, and the wildlife, and the circle of ecology. Don't everybody hold back the Elton John song from your head. And not a whole lot of hikers are there for anything but the view and the terrain and the trees. They're not necessarily there for, the fucking biology of it all. They might not necessarily understand the nitrogen cycle and all that. But one aquarium per city is not enough. One educational wildlife place per city is not enough. Petting zoos and parks and places where you got to go stand outside in the sun and walk around a lot, that's not enough. We should actually consider a tax break for pet stores that promote local ecological awareness. And I don't just mean endangered species and shit like that. I mean how the environment works. And that's another reason why I'm like gung-ho about being a land developer. Because them fucking look. The houses are going to get built. Somebody's going to build them. Better me than them. People are going to be taking shortcuts with septic systems and all kinds of bullshit. Whereas I'm basically, even in a big apartment complex, I'm leaving paths for the local wildlife to get through at night. Yep. Even my parking lots are full of fucking, like, they have tunnels underneath them. Little bridges, little wooden bridges. And now I just spent all that time trying to analyze a way to bond carbon and aluminum at a like a, not a molecular level, but like a nanomatrix level. I'm sure it's something that's occurred to people for years, but it's a difficult combinations of qualities to get one material to conform to. Aluminum being extremely malleable, and carbon being extremely brittle. And there's already something that exists that basically has the function. It's called titanium. But titanium is fucking expensive. Aluminum and carbon fiber, not so much. I mean, carbon fiber can be expensive, depending on how good the carbon fiber is, on how complicated the piece is. But on the manufacturing side, not that much. Seemed to me a lot of people waste manpower as an excuse to charge a lot of money. And more than anything, that's the reason why, like, government contracting has gotten the fuck out of control. I mean, really, like, seriously? You want to talk about why our budget is so fucked up? That's why. It's not Social Security. It's not Medicare. It's not even the military. It's the fucking contractors. You know why disaster cleanup costs so much? Contractors. And not the actual. I'm not talking about the guys that go out there and do the work. I'm talking about the middle management. Okay? They basically turn these fucking cleanup jobs, all these big construction jobs and shit that the government gives them, into little pyramid schemes. Oh, yeah. And, you know, I didn't even get paid for my fucking week of work, and something just shady about the whole fucking thing out there after Katrina. They were talking about way too much money, and then fucking basically they were paying to sign up and all kinds of, you know, like once you start paying people to sign other people up, you got some shady bullshit going on. That shouldn't be going on under government funded contracting. So yeah, they're paying people to sign up, and then they're not even paying the fucking people to do the work. But they had plenty of fucking Mexican crews sitting around. Yep. Right before I didn't get paid, a lot of fucking Mexicans showed up. Mm-hmm. So on paper, they were paying me still or something. What? I don't know. I did work. I fucking filled out paperwork and never got paid. Yet, yeah. I'm sleeping in my fucking car in this little compound with all these other fucking carpenters and contractors and shit. And I started, seeing illegals show up, man. Not fucking, Houstonian fucking, like, Mexican Americans. Fucking straight up Mexicans. And they stole my fucking hammer. That pissed me off, man. The fuck am I supposed to do without a hammer? Goddamn homeless carpenter. It was nice, speaking of fucking, it was a carbon graphite DeWalt fucking hammer. It was a nice hammer. Didn't think somebody would reach in there and take it while I was fucking sleeping. Jesus fucking Christ, man. See a motherfucker living in their fucking car and gonna take their fucking hammer. What the fuck is wrong with you fucking people? See, you live in Texas, man. You don't have any damn issues with Mexican Americans, okay? Mexican Americans are usually fucking Christians. But there's these fucking straight up Mexicans. I don't know how the fuck they get where they get. Driving little tiny Fords from Mexico and shit. And even on the fucking border towns, man, they're just waiting to fucking steal from somebody, man. It don't matter if you're Mexican American, Hispanic, Latino. And yes, those are three different things. Don't matter if you're white, black, Chinese, Puerto Rican. Cajun, Irish, Russian. You turn away from shit in a second and they gonna steal it. And what you gotta realize about the ones from Mexico that wanna come here and be American citizens is those are the motherfuckers they're trying to get away from. And therein lies the value of assimilation. They're trying to get away from that fucking culture. Yeah, so you assimilate them, teach them how to fucking, teach them why our society doesn't work that way. Oh, Jesus. The French yellow vest tried to cross into Italy. How to analyze a multifamily rental property. Ooh. I'm getting fucking bored. A mini castle. Again, I don't think this word means what you think it means. You know, a mini castle is basically just a fort. Castle isn't like a fancy house with towers. That's a fancy house with towers. A castle is a walled city. Sort of a little mini city within a city. And to castle is a verb, which means to build a series of walls and towers around an estate. So that's basically what it is. It's a walled estate. Anyways, all right. Chinese are all supposed to be atheists, yet they're having a big celebration where they welcome the god of wealth on the 5th day of the Lunar New Year. Oh, yeah, that sounds very atheistic to me. When are people going to get their heads out of their asses and realize these people, they don't hate God like you do? They just hate our God, the one of freedom and truth and justice and love. They have different values than us altogether. And that is why they simply see God differently. They think of deception as a form of strength. They're basically turning into old Mongolian pagans. You know, using the word pagan loosely. Fire worshippers. Mongolian fire worshippers. Anyways, you know, we like to blow things up on holidays too, but we all know the Chinese do it better. I think I might just watch Bleach again. I don't know how the hell you haven't watched Bleach yet. It's just, it's not even like an anime. It's like, I mean, it just happens to be an anime format. But that just makes it funny. And, no. No, it doesn't. Just go fucking watch it. Bleach S1E1. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but it's been on Hulu for a long time. If nothing else, there's the mangas, which they have as like a cartoon reel, and that's what I'm about to put on. Is probably the mangas. Mediocre. Stop trying to finish Full Metal Alchemist and watch Bleach. Just go watch it. Demons will try to make you put that off. You just have to acknowledge, oh, that's a demon. I could literally like have to walk through water just to make myself do this thing because a demon doesn't want me to do it. And when you watch Bleach, you'll understand exactly why. Oh, it'll get obvious real quick on that fucking show. Don't fuck around. Go watch it. Anyways, so I'm going to go now just so you can watch it. Okay? So, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll probably be on sometime tomorrow. Okay. And Lacey's going to go watch Bleach now. And so am I. In fact, I'll start the whole damn series over just so you can watch it with me. Okay? Don't forget to click the like button, blah, blah, blah.